guys are asking me, respectfully, to speak on something that was a documentary that I had nothing to do with. I didn't make it.
The Nets have suspended Kyrie Irving for no less than 5 games.
I cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from.
In your mind, you said I didn't mean to cause any harm. Were you apologizing or did you not?
I didn't mean to cause any harm. I'm not the one that made the documentary.
His future in Brooklyn, I think it's fair to say, is unclear.
Welcome back to NBA Today. I'm back here with Ramona Shelburne, and let's get right to it. It's been 5 days since the Nets suspended Kyrie Irving after he repeatedly failed to apologize for promoting anti-Semitism. He's since then apologized on social media. With all that being said, Ramona, what is expected of Kyrie before he returns to the court?
Well, the first thing he has to do is not just apologize on social media. He's got to apologize in person, in front of cameras, for people to hear him, because the Nets cannot have another situation where he says one thing, he puts a statement out, but then when he gets in front of a press conference, you have another disastrous press conference like he had last week. The next thing he needs to do is meet with local leaders who can talk about hate speech and understand where they're coming from, to where he goes through that process. He's also got to meet with Commissioner Adam Silver. That was in Adam Silver's statement last week, where he said, I'll be meeting with him in the next week. When I last checked him, that meeting had not been set, but there were still plans to have that meeting. And he's got to follow through on another few remedial steps to make this right before they will even consider having him back on the team. Now, this has been the talk all weekend, Shanae. One, would the Nets bring him back in any capacity, and what threshold will they need to feel that they can trust him again? And two, would any team? I mean, this is a hard one to come back from if teams feel the way they do, the way the Nets did after they suspended him for the conduct that was detrimental to the team. And that's been the talk all weekend long. If not the Nets, then what other team in the NBA would take a chance on him at this point? And
also part of the conversation over the weekend was centered around their search for their next head coach. Yeah. Anything on the latest there? Yeah, so they're still doing due diligence on Ime Udoka and trying to understand that situation as you would expect from the way his tenure in Boston ended. And there was some expectation that deal could get done last week. They've taken their time with it. And I don't have an update on when this might come together, because they, quite frankly, are doing due diligence right now and making sure they're comfortable with the situation before they move forward. Well, thank you so much for your perspective and your insight, Ramona. The Nets are in Dallas tonight taking on the Mavs. And for more on that, let's send it over to Richard.
Oh, thanks, Shanae. We have an injury update here as Ben Simmons will play against the Mavs tonight. Simmons has missed the last 4 games due to left knee swelling. Simmons said at shoot-around he's feeling pretty good and will play about 20 minutes. Here is Simmons earlier today on his matchup with Luka Doncic.
Stick to our game plan defensively. Stay focused on that, and then it's team presence. You know, he's got to feel everybody around him. Just got to make it tough on him. I don't think he's the guy you're going to completely stop, but you know, you can make it tough. Top things I got to solve for. Make sure he doesn't score. You just got to make it tough on him, knowing he wants to get to step back, going left and then right. He wants to drive. He's a better passer going right. That's all I got for you. I mean, it's tough. It's one of those things where you don't know what he's going to do, but you just hope to make the right reads.
Now, Ben Simmons. Now, we understand that he has not reached his elite level of defensive prowess that we're so used to. But again, he did have a year off. He did have back surgery, so it takes time. So to go against Luka, we want to show some clips here of good. Like what he talked about here, right? So you're talking about the Nets. Ben's got some good stuff. He's got some shots. He's got some this. But watch this play right here. This is where Ben is elite, in my opinion. He knows how to read things quickly, quick hands. This is more of what they need from Ben. They've seen it in spurts. Again, look at the score. 8 seconds ago, this tied game. Now, what does he like to do? Luka likes to go to his left. We know that. So Ben does a good job of keeping him there, forcing that shot to go into overtime. So there's so many good things that he does. They just need, instead of like 5-6 times, they needed 10, Matt.
Okay. I mean, a healthy Ben Simmons can give anybody problems. I mean, he's given Giannis problems. He can definitely give Luka problems. But I think the key word is health. We haven't seen a consistency of him yet. And like you said, Richard, he hasn't reached his defensive prowess we've seen in the past. But with that said, there's no one in the world that can stop Luka.
No one.
I think we all know this, and you're at Luka's mercy. You have to have a great team defensive plan and still even that may not be enough.
No, and that's where, like, again, they played against Giannis, they played against Luka, and everyone's like, what's wrong with Ben Simmons? Like, well, have you not seen these guys torturing guys that have been playing every single day? And look at the absolute heater that Luka has been on. Most 30-point games to start the season. I was taught this as a very young guy. If you're on the same graphics as Wilt Chamberlain on the court, you're doing something really, really well.
Or off.
Well, you know, again, you're doing some things. Again, look.
Him nowhere.
No, I'm just saying, no, if you're sick, look, I understand this. My thing is this. Luka is special. He's on a heater. I'm looking forward to watching him.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.